You didn't sleep well. You've been stuck in traffic while going to work. Your office or wherever you work was quite stressful and you had a lot of problems to solve. And then once you return home, when you were supposed to feel safe and have recovery time, at dinner someone asks you a rather minor question, or something happened unpredictable to what you would hope for, and you snap. It's not because there's something wrong with you. You just simply overreacted because your nervous system was overstimulated. Your reaction wasn't about the question or whatever happened to you. It was about your body being in too much stimulation and it just needed a release. I've had many days where I needed to take care of my dog super early in the morning, drive to the office, get stuck in traffic, and then from the moment I enter, people are flooding me with their problems and situations I need to resolve. Over the 8 hours I've been sitting there, I was able to manage everything as well as I would hope for. But then on the return home, still in traffic, my body would start feeling weirdly. And something as not managing to cook my dinner properly would trigger in me an emotion of overload, and the anger would burst. I would possibly even start screaming at the frying pan or the peppers I was cutting. The peppers, the frying pan, or anything in between was not the problem. The problem was that I simply have received too much stimuli, and back then I just didn't know how to process it. Here's the way to explain what happens within you. Your nervous system doesn't respond to an individual in event and isolation. Imagine that this is like a container filling up. Your nervous system is like a bowl to which on a daily basis you are able to enter some stimuli. The notifications we see, the emails we read, the news we absorb, the conversation with strangers or people we know, they are all adding to our load. And if we are not able to distinguish what each event does to us and how much of this bowl is being filled at each moment, we might have uncontrollable bursts of unpleasant energy towards ourselves or the people around us. And when the container, your nervous system, it's filled up above a certain point, let's call it a boiling point. You can understand it by the window of tolerance video I made in the past. If it goes above, so your windows of tolerance get breached, you simply lose your conscious awareness of what takes place. Your emotion takes over, your cognitive mind does not behave as you would want it to. And it's not your character flow, it's not a problem of your accustomization to life. That's just math. And if there's simply too much stimuli added and not enough released, you are losing your control. When you go into this overload state, your body doesn't necessarily specify what it wants to do. You don't cognitively think about how will you behave. It goes into an automatic drive and it puts you into those fight, flight, freeze, or fawn responses. Fight, flight shows as your irritability, your snapping, possible anger bursts. It's very often much higher than the reality is asking for. Your flight response, it's when you feel restlessness. You need to leave the room, the stimuli is simply too much and you just want to avoid any further conflict. You might be just simply going away from the problems you are facing. You might be doing a lot of scrolling just to escape this sort of overflow in your mind. And you just don't want to be in the present moment. The freeze state shows as your inability to act. You basically just stop all activity. You forget what you were about to say. you feel stuck and unable to act even on very little things. It might show itself like when you go to a room to pick up something, and once you get there, you just simply forgot what was the stuff you were looking for. And a phone, it's over apologizing. You start feeling this need to excuse and explain yourself, that whatever it's causing your body to feel in this suspiciously overstimulated way, you feel like it's your fault. So you start to make excuses to people around you. None of these are wrong responses. This is your nervous system reply to the stimuli you've received, and a way for you to make sure it doesn't get more stimulated than it should. We all have our preferences. They are deep within our subconscious about how we will respond to individual activities. All of those little things are adding to the amount of stimuli you can absorb. And if you are not able to distinguish that this has this particular effect on your body and on your well-being, those individual incidents are adding up, leading you to possibly explode or do something you would regret. The things you can actually do, which helps here, is to start noticing what those things are doing to you. The recognition of those events and their effects on your being and body are quite important in trying to resolve your anger burst or over apologizing. You can, at different points during the day, ask yourself, how am I feeling and what is causing it, and where do I experience this sensation? So you can just do a simple body scan and understand that at some point during the day, your shoulders are lifting, or that your jaw is clenching, or that your hands are sweating, or that your eyes are turning blurry, your vision is getting a little bit more distant. It's not gonna give you an immediate different response, but the more you get accustomed to the way your body experiences reality, the easier it is for you to start noticing where do you need to take a break and regulate yourself in the best way possible. You could start building small discharge points. So as you are trying to understand how you feel across the day, like let's do this in the morning scan, let's do this around the lunchtime, let's do it on your way back home, and let's do it before sleep. These 4 daily options can give you a visibility to how your body and your being experience those moments. You can also try to incorporate in your time during the day those discharge points, and you can say that for a certain time during the day, you want to remove all of the distractions. You remove the phone from your visibility, turn off all of the notifications, go for a walk, splash your face with cold water, or hold cold water in your mouth. You can give yourself freedom to write and get yourself a notebook and start journaling your thoughts away. All of those little activities give your nervous system this capacity to release the build-up tension. And they are very useful in understanding what is actually causing our overstimulation. Another thing you can do is to simply start to recognize when you are turning above the certain threshold, what is your response? If you have been stimulated over those little incidents of life, right? How are your body feel when you feel like there's too much you cannot handle anymore? Are you leaning towards anger and trying to say someone that they are not right? Or are you just trying to fly from the situation and excuse yourself? Perhaps you're trying to say that actually you are sorry that you made them feel this way. Noticing your patterns will help you understand and possibly change your future reactions. And another thing which can be very useful for your life is just simply give yourself a break. If you notice that you slept poorly and the day up front is going to be quite challenging for your existence, there's going to be stressful activities, don't force yourself to be on your best. Don't try to go to the gym and do your personal records, best records, or try to start a new project when you feel like you are running on the low tank. Your body will thank you, because otherwise it might just get used to overstimulation, and that possibly will lead to some exhaustion or illness. So if you ever felt like you've reacted to a situation a little bit too much and that you've overreacted to the little events of life, know this. You are not broken. This is your nervous system response to simply too much action, and it doesn't have a better way of dealing with this. Your nervous system and your capacity were full, and those little small things simply add up over time and resulted in your reaction, which made you wonder, why did you act this way? You should remember that your goal is not to react, to prevent yourself from the reaction, because that will suppress more emotion and energy in your body, and that's going to be unhealthy too. It's to recognize what each individual thing is causing to you, to your body, to your soul, to your being. Notice the capacity being filled in across the day. As we said, give yourself time to notice the moments you feel in a certain way and understand at which part of the scale are you in. And if you do this analysis of understanding how are you feeling, you might be very easily able to distinguish the moment you need to take a break. If you feel like you were at 80% of your capacity, taking a walk and looking at trees, wearing the green color, it's quite stress releasing for your eye and for your body. It's a way to go. If this sounds like the week you've experienced or a day which pushed you over the edge, reach out. Let me know whatever fills your container faster. Because in whatever is triggering you the most, there is a reason for it, an answer to how to make yourself feel better. Be well.